In this video, we'll cover how to use keyboards with GarageBand. Let's do a quick rundown of the equipment used in this video. The Komplete Kontrol A49 Keyboard, a MacBook Pro, the Focusrite Scarlett 18i20 audio interface, 1 or 2 USB cables, depending upon your setup, a USB hub, also depending upon your setup, and a USB converter, depending upon which hardware you have. Now, we'll take a look at a few options with the setup. There are a couple different options I'll cover while using your keyboards with GarageBand. The first option will be to use your keyboard with your device that hosts GarageBand. The second option is to use it in conjunction with an audio interface, which we'll cover in more detail later in this video. This is the first option, plugging your keyboard directly into a device that hosts GarageBand, in my case a MacBook Pro. As you can see, I also use a sustain pedal with my keyboard. As previously mentioned, it plugs directly into the laptop, and this is how the USB cable and the sustain pedal connect to the keyboard. This is the second option, using your keyboard in conjunction with an audio interface. As you can see, I use a USB hub to connect both my keyboard and my audio interface to my device. This is how to connect to the audio interface. You may need a USB converter depending upon which equipment you are using. Next, we'll consider GarageBand. Let's check out how to choose your keyboard in GarageBand. To create a new track, click on the track drop-down list and select New Track. Next, select the software instrument box. If the instrument library is not visible, click here. Make sure to set your audio preferences for inputting and outputting sound, depending upon your setup. Because I will be setting up for jamming with other musicians, I will set mine up to use my audio interface for both inputs and outputs. GarageBand will recognize your keyboard once it's connected via USB cable. To set your audio preferences, go to the GarageBand drop-down list and select Settings. Next, click on the Audio MIDI tab. Now I'll select my audio interface for both input and output source. You may select from a wide variety of options for your keyboard sounds in GarageBand, found in the instrument library. If the instrument library is not visible, click here. Now I'll scroll through some of the options that are available to you. When recording, click here to turn on the metronome. Click here to initiate the count-in that occurs before the recording starts. Click here to activate the looper, which can be adjusted in length. Click here to start the recording. Click here to stop. Click here to play. Click here to fast forward or rewind. You can also adjust the count-in length here. Plugins are a great way to enhance the sound of your keyboards. Plugins can be found in the Smart Control panel. If Smart Controls are not visible, click here. To view plugins, click on the right arrow icon here. You may turn a plugin on or off by clicking here. You may change a plugin by clicking here. Click here to add a new plugin. As you can see, there are several options to choose from. Audio interfaces are something to consider when using your keyboard. Reasons to use an audio interface include: you can jam and record with other musicians. You can input microphones. You can input other MIDI instruments. And you have more options for outputting sounds, not only to speaker monitors, but also to headphones. For example, as you can see here on the front of the audio interface, you can input either a microphone on the left or an instrument on the right. This allows you to jam and record with other musicians. And here, on the back of the audio interface, you have many options to output sound to speaker monitors. I'm using 2 at the moment. I am also using a MIDI cable to input electronic drums. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below.